She got me. It's Madden NFL 23, and we've got Miles Jack. He was terrific defensively last week with 11 tackles. It's the Dolphins and the Chargers, next on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one, and losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's getting people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. Takes it at the 7. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 18 big yards on that one, and on 1st and 10, Watson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson, that's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Personal foul, unnecessary running.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, as a the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
1st and 10. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. And that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here come the Chargers as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Finding Harris over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. He'll take a shot for the end zone, and this one is incomplete. The Chargers at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 13 carries, 61 yards.
It's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys, they're getting after the quarterback. They're getting after him. 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 They is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complimentary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And the Chargers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal.
They'll try and run with Harris, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Damian Harris, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Chargers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes it at the 7.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. So Miami coming out for their second drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
On second down, they'll run it here. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. Here's Watson. And a quick throw here, and it's a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
York now for the extra point.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. first down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now it's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. To the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
That'll go as a punt of 3rd. Gets set to go here for their second drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 26-yard line. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Brevin Jordan, 26 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll find Parker again, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. 3 yards remain for second down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, heck of a move.
Man.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 29-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? He'll look to throw. He finds his target, Allen. Touchdown! Keenan Allen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Point after, right down the middle, and it makes the score 21-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Keenan Allen who finished it all off with the touchdown reception. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Chargers to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's swung out wide to Harris. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, Rodgers. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Jalen Waddle, 26 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Harris, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Damian Harris with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
He's got a man. Complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first down, Watson. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Watson. This is intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. York on now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's going to go up top again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Watson now to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And the big fella stumped that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. But CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been...
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
Rodgers now to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Got his target, Samuel. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there.
His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chargers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Miami set to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Watson on 3rd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Watson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Throwing again is Watson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Flushed out right. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it...
Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They've had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dab. It's been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. They find some open field here. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 67 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right.
He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And again, it's Rodgers.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
Touchdown! Damian Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chargers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their
Personal
lead.
foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
York now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Now Watson. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson for Keenan Allen. That's complete.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
He can really smell 800 catches right now, because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
From the 50, it's Watson. Going deep here for Parker. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. That one looks like he'll throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
On first and 10, Weston.
Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10. Here's Watson. Buying time to his left.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Teron Johnson able to pick it.
Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chargers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Miami, They'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.